Welcome back, Storm fans. I am Bryant Cook, and today we're playing bonus round Ruby Storm with a few cards from the brand new set March of the Machines, which just released. So the first card is Urabrask, and I'm going to need to read this one because there's a lot of text on here. So for 4 mana, 2 and 2 red, so 4 total, you get a 4/4 first striker, doesn't fly. I know that it looks like it flies, does not fly. So it's a first strike. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, Urabrask deals 1 damage to target opponent, you add a red mana. And then if you've played 3 or more instant or sorceries this turn, you can pay a red and flip Urabrask, and it becomes a saga called The Great Work. So the first chapter on this saga deals 3 to target opponent and each creature they control. The second saga makes 3 treasures, and then the third saga is Past in Flames. So it's pretty good. And I think the main thing about Urabrask is that if you've looked at previous videos before, sometimes alongside Burning Wish, you would see the actual card Wish, and that made it so you didn't lose to Surgical Extraction. Well, now you don't have to play Wish because you have a hybrid win condition in Urabrask that's also a little bit like a Birgi God of Storytelling. So Urabrask gives the deck a unique card that, you get extra Birgis, you get a backup win con, it's great. Alongside that, we're running Wrenn's Resolve, which is another new, and I use newish with like air quotes there, card because it's actually just additional copies of Reckless Impulse. We can play 8 of these effects now, and that's pretty good. So the last time that I played this deck is this list here, and I liked it, but I thought that Inspired Tinkering was a little bit too mana intensive, and Galvanic Relay is really awkward when you're casting bonus round a bunch of times and then you just pass the turn. So instead today we're going to play a list that's a little bit lower to the ground and really leveraging Birgi God of Storytelling and Urabrask for our spells. So we're playing a few less rituals. We're not running any copies of Desperate Ritual today. And instead we're running extra, Birgi effects. I did move the 4th Red Flame to the main deck and then put the 4th Jessica's Will in the sideboard. I feel as if sometimes the starting mana is the toughest mana in the deck, and getting to Urabrask on curve or Birgi on curve is better than the copy my Burning Wish twice line. So I do have that with Jessica's Will if it's relevant, but I think that I just want the better initial mana in the deck. So that's what I'm going for here today. And with the 8 Reckless Impulses, you likely need less mana when you have Ruby Medallion plus these effects, because they're just going to be free most of the time. Alright, so that's my deck tech. I did move the Galvanic Relays to the board over Defense Grid. I'm not sure if that's correct. You might still want Defense Grid in the board. I'm not sure. But this is what we're going to play today. If you have any thoughts, comments, questions, suggestions, whatever, put those down below. I'll always do my best to answer what I can. But thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. And I hope that you enjoy me winning with Urabrask today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Alright, time for the first match. We are on the play. Here we have turn 1 Sandstone Needle into turn 2 Birgi, turn 3 Party. I'm in. Let's go. If we're lucky enough to draw a Lotus Petal, we could even theoretically go for a turn 2. I guess maybe if they have a, I don't know what they're playing, but we could try to Jessica's Will for a bunch. Looks like a blue deck. I think I'm going to just pass the turn. Maybe they'll tap out for like a Stoneforge Mystic or something. I've been facing a lot of Stoneblade recently. Basic Island, and they're passing. Okay, another bonus round. Pass the turn. Land number 3. Standstill. Okay, I did face a Shark Still recently, so it looks like they're holding open swords. Alright, here's a Birgi. The God of Storytelling. And she's going to get forced. Pitching a Snapcaster. We'll pass. Land number 4, and they're passing with 7 in hand. Another Reckless Impulse. I'm going to burn the Rite of Flame rather than get rid of the Sandstone Needle. Let's play a Wrenn's Resolve. I'm going to pass on these. Because if I just play the Ruby Medallion, they're just going to Prismatic Ending. Land number 5. It's not looking good for us. We're definitely choked on mana. Ancient Tomb would be a good draw. Let's try the Ruby Medallion. Counter target spell. Okay, so let's Jeskai's, and I'm going to try to make 6 mana off this. Brutal. Okay, we'll pass. They do have a Flooded Strand in play, so theoretically they could go get a Mystic Sanctuary and get back Force of Will or something else at some point as well. And they do not grab a Mystic Sanctuary because they already had it in hand. Sure. Counterspell goes on top of the deck. There's an Urabrask, but right now what I need is mana. That is not mana. Okay, and we didn't draw a land. Seen a lot of our deck at this point to only have found 3 lands. The Birgi will go to exile because we cannot cast it here. We have drawn land 3, we'll just play it and pass. On the following turn I can Reckless Impulse. They have 6 cards in hand. Manamorphose. Let's attempt to Jeskai's. Do I get to make 6 mana? Snapcaster for Spell Pierce. Or Counterspell, that's fine too. Okay, pass. They swing, we go to 18. They have 6 cards in hand. Wrenn's Resolve. Red Flame makes 3. Manamorphose. Red. Let's try another Reckless Impulse. Lotus Petal. Let's draw a counterspell with this Burning Lash. Hardcast Forcible? Sure. Pass. They attack for 2, we'll go to 16. Draw for turn, it's a mountain. Might as well play the Birgi. She resolved, but they likely have a Swords to Plowshares. I mean, they've seen a lot of cards to not have a Swords. Yep. The cycle Timeless Dragon for a Plains, the grab Plateau. Snapcaster gets in, we go to 17. They have 5 in hand. They pass. Land number 5. Bonus round? Looks like a counterspell. Otawara the Snapcaster? Sure. I think that this is a sign that they're running low on interaction. And I'm not going to pay for the bonus round. We'll just pass the turn. They dropped to 5 cards in hand now. We'll go to 15. Timeless Dragon has entered the battlefield. Wrenn's Resolve. Let's try another bonus round. That resolves. Manamorphose. Do we get to party? Is it finally happening? Looks like it. Okay, that's a good one. Play an Urabrask. Rite of Flame. They have a Swords. Okay. Sure. We're going to make a bunch of mana here. Wrenn's Resolve. Medallion, Birgi. Okay, it's looking very good for the home team at the moment. Ruby Medallion. Rite of Flame. Storm is 8. Manamorphose. Red. Let's cast this Wrenn's Resolve. There we go. Bonus round. I bet you all thought I was going to lose this game, and now we're just having a great time. Turn 14 casual win. You know, that's what Legacy's all about. The grind of the Storm Mirror versus, I guess, Storm versus Control matchup. It's on a mirror. I don't know what I'm saying. Alright, so I think we probably want Galvanic Relays in this matchup. I'm less interested in the Urabrask, unfortunately. This is just not a matchup for that card. So we'll board those out. And I think we can board in Blast Zone. Board out a couple of Sandstone Needle, because that Sandstone Needle is a card for fast matchups. This is not a fast matchup. Alright, so I do need to find one more cut. I actually loved having 8 Reckless Impulse in this matchup. I felt like I was really able to grind well. Maybe I'll board out the Rite of Flame. I don't know. I don't really want to board that out. Try boarding out like one bonus round. I guess the downside of the way that I just boarded is if my opponent surgicals my wishes, I'm in trouble. Because I did board out the Urabrasks. Land go? Sure. Another Ruby Medallion. So I could try to Lotus Petal mine out. The issue with that is we saw Spell Pierce, but also just the 4 of that we know about in their deck. I mean, we haven't seen it, but we can assume that they have it, which is just Prismatic Ending. And I missed. Okay. Let's Manamorphose, see if we can just spike that second land. Red, red. The needle was good. Alright, I'm down to play one. We have two. Force of Will, really? Force of Negation. Pitching a Force of Will. I like how that's very good to me. They have 4 cards in hand. They grab a Tundra. Cycling a Dragon? Yep. Back in my day, control decks played Eternal Dragon. None of this Timeless Dragon crap. They have 4 in hand. A Galvanic Relay. Let's attempt a Ruby Medallion. That time it resolves. Reckless Impulse. Want to hit a land here. Well, we did hit one. There's a tap land. We can play the Rite of Flame on the following turn. Another Timeless Dragon. They still have 4 in hand, and it looks like they're just going to let me untap with the Ruby Medallion. Big fan of that. Bonus round. I'm going to try the Rite of Flame first. I realized that I could sequence it differently, but I want to keep open double relay. Force pitching Force, they have 2 in hand. Seething Song. What's Reckless Impulse? Play the Lotus Petal. Burning Wish floating 3. Bluster Storm with a single card left in their hand. Even if it's Snapcaster Mage or another Fluster Storm, we're going to Galvanic Relay them into the dirt. Okay, so we need to let these copies of Fluster Storm resolve. Their last card in hand was a Surgical. We just lost. I guess that's actually not true. I could beat them to death with the Birgi. They do have a Timeless Dragon already. Now I feel like an idiot for boarding out the Urabrasks. I had this game won. Yep. Okay. Lesson learned. Bring back the Urabrasks. I have a crazy thought. What if we just don't have Petal in our deck? Like, we're not trying to be fast here. I think I actually like this. 17 lands, just make sure I hit my land drops and win the game eventually. Don't love this. Okay. Against better judgment, we're going to try it. Play Needle, pass the turn. Blooded Strand, and they pass. Blast Zone. We'll just play a land and pass here. So I could Rite of Flame, Seething Song, Burning Wish, but I can't multi-spell and punish them, which is really my goal. And it looks like they're stuck on 1 land. Discards Force of Will. That's how you know their hand is good. Okay. Just don't play into their tricks. Take a draw. Another Needle. I like this hitting land drops thing. Way better than Lotus Petal. They cycle Timeless Dragon. So they will be hitting their land drop on the following turn. Stand Still. So I could just Blast Zone this away and not give them the cards. They have 7 in hand. Let's activate the Blast Zone. We'll put a charge counter on it, so we'll go up to 2. Reckless Impulse. We will pass. Now they're going to clean up. We will blow up the Blast Zone. Goodbye, Standstill. No free cards for you. This card's Meltdown. Play a mountain and pass the turn. They have found land 4. Another copy of Standstill, okay. 6 cards in hand. Okay, I think it's our window, so we're just going to go for it here. They're going to force a Ruby Medallion, pitching Spell Pierce. Rite of Flame. What about a Seething Song? Another Seething Song? Reckless Impulse. Target them with a Jeska's Will. Trying to make mana here. And that resolved. Let's play Wrenn's Resolve. It's from 8. Let's try a Burning Wish. They force pitching Brainstorm. We'll cast another immediately. Force Negation pitching Dobin's Veto. What about this final Burning Wish in my hand? Does the third one get the job done? Fluster Storm. Okay. They have 2 cards left in hand. And now they're going to do the surgical trick? Sure. So they have 1 card left. I have 2 Urabrask in my deck that are still capable of winning this game. I'm not likely going to be able to do the... Oh, they messed up. This one's still on the stack. I guess there's no way for me to shuffle this in. Oh, I have Urabrask. Urabrask can flip and then pass in flames into the... Okay, this Burning Wish is still a win con. I mean, it's not likely, but we could do it. And I'll tap these, and we're going to play Harnfell, Horn of Bounty. Pass the turn. 4 mana. Jace the Mind Sculptor. They will Fate Seal with 1 card in hand. It doesn't tell me if they put it on top or bottom, but we'll discard it to the Horn. Birgi plus Relay. I mean, I'll take that. I will be losing my Sandstone Needle to make this happen. Okay. Bonus round and another Birgi. Opponent brainstorms with the Jace. Timeless Dragon time? Or is this an ending for 3? Ending for 3. Okay. They have a single card left and they have to redraw through the Jace Brainstorm on the following turn. Discard the land to Horn. Okay, Ruby Medallion is certainly welcome. Cast Birgi. Bonus round. 2 mana. Dobin's Veto. Alright, so we'll Manamorphose. We have a window here. Red. Land, discard it to the Horn. Reckless Impulse. Come on, duck. Pretty please. Urabrask. There we go. So we will play the Urabrask, which costs 3. And then Birgi will trigger. Rite of Flame. Target them. Save targets. Auto yield. Okay, Reckless Impulse again. Mana is no longer the bottleneck. We need cards. Bummer. So we fizzled here. I could flip the Urabrask and then start to build towards that Past in Flames mode. Let's flip it. Okay. Play the land, and then we'll bonus round for the sake of it, I guess. I guess I lost on 1 point of damage. I could have done that differently. Yeah, I don't know why I sequenced that way. If I lose the game by 1 damage, it's my own fault. The Fairy Time Raveler. They can bounce this. They could actually bounce the Great Work and Birgi. They bounce the Horn. That's interesting. You draw Rite of Flame. The Great Work goes up to 3. I'm sorry, goes up to the second chapter, makes 3 treasure. Attack them with Birgi. Play Horn. Resolves. Okay. Discard the Rite of Flame. Play Blast Zone. Pass the turn. I'll be honest, I didn't think I was ever going to get to Chapter 3 of Urabrask in this league, so I'm pretty excited about it here. They plus the Teferi. A Wasteland. Okay, that's a little bit of an odd one. I wasn't expecting that out of the Jeskai control deck. They go after Ancient Tomb. Sure. 4 mana for Adawara on... Oh, that's brutal. Okay. That hurt. Okay, first things first, let's get in there. And it actually looks like it might come up here. I talked about how if I lose this game by 1, it's my own fault. Well, now we're attacking, attempting to put them to 3. Play the Urabrask. Manamorphose. Puts them to 2. Red. That was an insane rip. Okay. Red. Discard to the Horn. Any instant or sorcery wins. Wrenn's Resolve, the other new card from March of the Machine. We've done it. We won the match. We used Urabrask to do it. That was awesome. I truly love this. Unfortunately, we didn't get to Chapter 3, but this one felt so good. All right, 1-0. Plenty of great Magic left to go. That was really sweet. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and Mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Match number 2, we're on the draw. Keep. Assuming that they're on a non-blue deck, we have quite a busted hand. So we have turn 1, Rite of Flame, Lotus Petal, Jeska's Will. Another blue deck. Come on, you're killing me, Smalls. I think I want to go for it anyway. We can play through a Daze here too. Rite of Flame. Just completely disrespecting our opponent here. Target you with Jeska's Will. Boo! They're on breakfast. We're not going to win this. Okay. Lame. End step Brainstorm. Flooded Strand pass. We just have to pass here. The hope is that I draw a land and I can play Birgi, untap into some of this stuff. There's a Saga. Draw. I mean, that was a good one. Play it and pass. So now I want an untapped land, because untapped land would mean I could Manamorphose post Birgi. Draw. There we go. Play the Bergmeister. Burgerino. Manamorphose. Birgi will make a red. Is this a daze? What's going on here? You didn't need a fetch for days, but you wanted to anyway? Doesn't make any sense. Alright. We have to pass. Sure thing. Urza Saga. They're going to make another construct. That's a good sign for me. They grab the Shuko. I have no intentions of blocking. Yep. Draw for turn. Another Birgi. That's actually not very helpful. I could bonus round into Reckless Impulse, but I'd have to hit a bunch of runners, I think. Like untapped land, and then like a Rite of Flame or a Lotus Petal. Take a chance. Bonus round. Reckless Impulse. Okay, don't fail me, Doc. Pretty please. Untapped land. Oh, wow. That's unfortunate. I can play Horn. So we'll play Horn, and then we have to pass the turn. Okay. They have 4 cards. They make another construct. I'll take 9. This is our last turn that we can possibly win this game. They have 4 cards that we have to beat here. Play the Mountain. Manamorphose. Okay. Red. Do not need Birgi 3, so we will discard. Wrenn's Resolve keeps us alive. And that does not. Unfortunate, we revealed too many lands. We had a window to win and we just missed it. Alright, we definitely want these Leyline of the Voids. And I think against a deck like Cephalid Breakfast, we want to board out some of the top end stuff. Or do I board out the Lotus Petals? Just because, once again, it's not really a speed matchup. I'm going to try that. Yes, I'd like to be on the play. This hand's really good. It just doesn't have a Leyline. We'll keep against better judgment. Sandstone Needle pass. They play a Flooded Strand. Underground Sea. Yeah, good luck. Birgi got a Storytelling. No dice. Draw for turn. Let's play Wrenn's Resolve. Play the Ancient Tomb pass. Next turn, I think we're going to try to bonus round into the win. There's a Saga, and they have 4 cards. Seething Song. They know about the land Rite of Flame and the Manamorphose. Okay, so they let that go. Let's try bonus round. Rite of Flame. Reckless Impulse. There's a Birgi. And a pair of ley lines. Ouch. We will play Birgi. If it'll let me. Ask the Birgi, come on. Manamorphose. Red. Birgi triggers, and then we'll do black here. Manamorphose. Black. Red. Bonus round again. And they concede. Sweet. Game 3. Submit. Wow. This is a hand. Keep. Leyline of the Void. Flooded Strand pass. We'll just play a mountain. They play a basic island, and they're going to pass back. Attempt a Ruby Medallion now that I can pay for a daze. And I could try to cast these spells now, but I think it's just risky. I'm going to pass. Ponder. They did not shuffle with the Ponder. Second Ruby Medallion, okay. So this means that the Birgi costs 1. And apparently Birgi is a force on spot, so sure. That's the turn. We don't need to go. Is this a Teferi? The fairy bounced the ley line. This is the one downside of ley line in the matchup. They're on 4 cards in hand, and it looks like we might have a window here. Hello, Birgi. Cast it. Another force? You're not a very nice person. Pitching another Flusterstorm. Rite of Flame. Reckless Impulse. We don't have any red sources for this Burning Wish. Wrenn's Resolve. Unfortunate. I have to just play a land and pass. Please don't kill me with the 2 cards in your hand. 3 cards after draw step. You don't have it. You don't have it. They plus the Teferi. The ending a medallion. That's fine. Draw. Another Birgi. Play the Berg. Tap the Needle. We'll play bonus round. Birgi makes a red. Bonus round. Burning Wish. Which ends up being free because the Birgi makes a red and then the medallion reduces the other. Okay. We can grab Jeska's Will. And then this Burning Wish gets passed in flames. Okay. So if their last card in hand is another force, it would stop me here. It would have to be another force, like a Flusterstorm. I guess could counter both. They've just pitched 2 Flusterstorms to forces previously. If they had a 3rd Fluster, I'd be pretty surprised. Daze still gets the job done because they have to return an island. Fast in Flames? Sweet. Let's cast bonus round. Okay. And now we'll write a flame for mana. And now we get to the fun part of the game. We have roughly infinite mana. Well, Jeska's Will for the Act on Impulse mode. How much is too much? That's the question. Well, I don't think we've gotten there yet, so let's bonus round. Aww. We somehow managed to beat Cephalid Breakfast. Maybe Ruby Storm is just the best Storm deck in the format. I don't know. But I'm a little surprised. We beat a miserable matchup as the combo deck facing Cephalid Breakfast, but we're 2-0. There's still 3 more matches left. Urabrask did not come up this match, unfortunately, but I'll take wins any day. Alright, see you in match number 3. The Command Tower software by Eminence Gaming is perfect for hosting your own Magic events with features such as easy-to-create event registration for 4-player and one-on-one Swiss-based games. Event management has never been so simple, and it's done on the web, no downloads are required. You can sign up for $5 by visiting eminence.events/subscribe. Third match, we're on the draw, and unfortunately we have not opened up a red source. This hand is great, we will keep. Goodbye, Birgi number 2. Another blue deck. Jeez Louise. Rite of Flame is a good draw. We'll play the Needle and pass the turn. Basic Plains. Ruby Medallion. Okay, that resolves. We'll play a Birgi, God of Storytelling. Lotus Petal. Triggers the Birgi. And they have a Swords. Okay, well, we still get our red. Reckless Impulse. Bonus round Mountain. We'll pass the turn. Land number 3 for them. This looks like a prismatic ending, and it is. Ponder. I would really like to draw something that goes with this bonus round on our turn. So, like a Reckless Impulse effect, or Manamorphose, Jeska's Will. There we go. Bonus round. Force and Negation pitching to Fairy. We'll play the Mountain. And actually, I'll wait. I accidentally tapped my Mountain. Whatever. It's fine. Land number 4, the fetch immediately. Is this a Jace the Mind Sculptor? Weird. Like, you usually don't see that many Jaces in Legacy, but the leagues recently, there's been a lot of Mind Sculptors. They decide to look at the top card. So they're actually giving me a window here. They left the card on top. This time it said they choose to not do anything. The last time that somebody plussed it did not say that. Well, Reckless Impulse. Bonus round, Wrenn's Resolve. So I'm just short on mana, so I think I'm supposed to play the Needle and pass. Unfortunately, they get to untap and brainstorm with the Jays looking for the counterspell for the bonus round, but I can't just bonus round past the turn. It's not a viable line. They have actual factual brainstorm, not just Jace brainstorm. Monastery Mentor. Sure. And they're going to Jace Fate Seal again. I don't think that's a viable strategy in this situation, but whatever works best for you. Okay, we'll take 2. Bonus round. Like, if I were in their shoes, I'm not trying to talk poorly about our opponent. I would like to reiterate that, like, I don't know our opponent. I'm sure they're a wonderful person. But you could have just cast, or you could have just Jace Brainstormed. And then, like, what if you found another force or something? Or, like, I bonus round and then you could double Brainstorm on my turn because of the bonus round. Like, there's just more options than giving me a complete window to try to win. All right, Wrenn's Resolve. 2 copies of Wrenn's Resolve. A Jeskai and another Wrenn's Resolve. Okay. They have 1 card in hand. I think we just pass. They Fate Seal again. Narset. So, thankfully for us, none of these cards draw cards. They exile the top of the deck. So, Manamorphose is shut off by this Narset, but it's actually not as big of a deal as you may think. They found Prismatic Ending. That can exile my Lotus Petal. So they're pinching me on mana, which is fine. And they get the Monastery Mentor trigger. They still have 1 card. They swing for 4. I'll go to 11. Ruby Medallion. Nope. Okay, so we'll tap this and a Tomb. Let's start off with Wrenn's Resolve. There's the Ruby. Let's play Ancient Tomb and then Ruby Medallion. We'll play the Birgi. Red a Flame for mana. That triggers the Birgi. And these Wrenn's Resolves are now completely free. Having 8 of this effect is just so good. Another Wrenn's Resolve. See, here's a spot where the Narset matters because now I'm reliant on this Jeskai while hitting an action spell. Okay, don't fail me, deck. Another Reckless Impulse, but that was pretty much a whiff. Burning Wish, let's see it. Burning Wish. We fizzled. We fizzled. Oh no. I guess I can Manamorphose on their turn. Okay. In their upkeep, we will Manamorphose. Gives me a shot here for an extra look. Red. Another bonus round. They Swords my Birgi. So they've Jace Fate Sealed every turn. And now this is a spot where doing it is correct because they can just deny me the ability to win the game. I'm at 10. Should be fairly easy for them to kill me here. They just need 1 more spell. No, they have exactly 10. They have exactly 10. Well, I guess their line worked. So I was wrong. Our opponent was right. And we will lose game number 1. Sort of unfortunate that the Narset Manamorphose thing ended up mattering. So we lose game 1. They would have left that on top and we would have lost to the Jace anyway. Okay. Time to get them back. I think we want these Blast Zones. Board out the Lotus Petals. Definitely want Relays. Goodbye Petals. And... board out 1 bonus round. Try it again. Game 2. This hand is just so risky. You need your opponent to have kept a hand with no interaction in it for this to be good. And I would have to rip. Full mulligan. Much better. Get rid of the Sandstone Needle. Land past the turn. Flooded Strand, and they're going to pass. Let's just play Reckless Impulse here. Land bonus round. That bonus round not going to be super helpful. Okay. So if I bonus round to put it to the graveyard, they could like Brainstorm on the end step twice, and I think that's just pretty risky. Like, yeah, it'd be nice if the bonus round was in the graveyard for Past in Flames or whatever, but I don't think it's the right move. They fetch. And again. Narset Parter of Veils. They find Swords to Plowshares. Ruby Medallion. Seething Song. They force Pitch Force. Reckless Impulse. Okay, we'll pass. We know that they have a Swords in hand, so this Urabrask isn't particularly good. They found another Forcible off the Narset. They remove my Ruby. Sure. Play the Urabrask. Ancient Tomb. Red a Flame. Let's Jeskai's for the top 3, see if I can flip this Urabrask. This is a pretty juicy force target. And they do Pitching Snapcaster. Unfortunately, I will be unable to flip the Urabrask. One spell short. And now they can untap and Swords to Plowshares the Urabrask. Womp womp, they have 2 cards. Blood Moon versus the all-red deck? Hornfell. Okay, let's party. Another Narset. They find Brainstorm. They have Brainstorm 1 unknown. Discard the Blast Zone. Birgi Rite of Flame. We'll discard this Rite of Flame. Do we hit a payoff? Pretty please. Yes, we do. Cast Birgi. Rite of Flame. Triggers Birgi. Ah, another Swords! This opponent's too good. Alright, well, we need to play these Wrenn's Resolves. So let's do that. Play a Mountain. Ruby Medallion. Wrenn's Resolve. So we can Seething Song Urabrask. We know that they have 1 card in hand, and it's a Brainstorm. So let's flip this right now, actually. The clock is on. Pass. They minus the Narset, going down to 1 counter. They find Days Undoing. I mean, I don't have a hand anyway, so have at it. They Days Undoing. So they actually gave me a card. That was very kind of them. We create 3 treasure tokens. I guess it means that my Past in Flames on the Great Work isn't as good. Discard the Mountain. That could have been better. Play Birgi. Rite of Flame. So it looks like we're going to get to the final chapter on this, but the downside is I don't have anything to do with it. The Days Undoing was relevant, and I didn't see why at first. It was the fact that it shuffled in my graveyard. Typically, when I think of Days Undoing Narset, I think of being Mind Twisted. And here, the actual important mode was the shuffle. Another Swords. Yep. We need to draw something very good here. Discard the Burning Wish in response. Damn. Okay. I mean, we got to the Past in Flames. Oh, it flipped back over. I didn't realize it flipped back over. That's awesome. Yeah. Okay, I see you, Urabrask. Living your best life. Play the Blast Zone. Guess we just attempt the Burning Wish. A Force of Negation. Okay. So we can get them pretty close to death here. And then the Manamorphose isn't going to draw a card, it's just going to deal them a damage. And I'm pretty sure Urabrask has activated as a sorcery. Yeah, okay, because I could cast my opponent's Swords, but I would actually have to exile my Urabrask. So instead we'll deal them 3, putting them to 2. Pass. Urabrask is doing damage, quite literally. There's a Monastery Menta. They have 5 cards in hand. We'll make 3 more treasure. So I could cast this and exile the top 2, or I can just discard it to Horn and not have to worry about it being counterspelled, so we'll do that. Bummer. I guess I'll just play Manamorphose. It's relevant because if this flips back over, I want the cards in the graveyard that I can cast. Burst of Negation pitching to Fairy. Yep. That's the turn. Will Urabrask be enough to win this game on its own? No! Ah, Teferi's so good here. That's a real bummer. Ah, that's so brutal. Because now if they have a counter spell... Ah, geez. Okay. They're going to swing for 7. Draw the Mountain. Discard to the Horn. Play Urabrask. So now if they force a will the Burning Wish, they're dead. Because this puts them to 1. Yes. I was trying to think if I had a funnier win condition other than Grapeshot, but it's just the Grapeshot. Boom. Urabrask did it this game. That was all Urabrask. Submit. Game 3, we're on the draw. So this is actually really dangerous because of the Needle being our only land. I'm going to mulligan. This is like the same hand. Ay. I think you're supposed to get rid of the Jeskai's Will. I mean, our opponent's already on a mulligan to 6 and they're on the play. But I'm not loving the spot that I'm in here. I would like to draw like running lands. We did board up on lands too, but we went from 15 to 17 without, and we're in a deck without cantrips really. Like, these act on impulse effects are cantrips, but the downside is that Sandstone Needle is a temporary land. So just like drawing basic mountain is what we really want. Another Jessica's Will. We'll pass. Prismatic Vista. Another Needle. Okay. Pass the turn. They're using their Vista for a Plains. The Fairy Time Reveler, sure. They're going to draw a card. This could be a decent window for us. Attempt to resolve a Seething Song. What about a Jessica's Will? Just another Seething Song. Bonus round. This is a pretty juicy force target. They let that go. Alright, let's Manamorphose. Red, red. Red, red. Let's make some more mana here. So, assuming that both of these resolve, it's plus 10 red mana. Reckless Impulse. Some lands. And a Seething Song. We'll cast the Seething Song. Alright, so mana's no longer a choke point. We just want spells. Some more impulse effects. We found mana. Wrenn's Resolve. Come on, deck. Pretty please. Give me something good. 2 Ruby Medallions. Alright. We'll play a Ruby Medallion. Ruby Medallion. Bonus round. Play a Hornfell. Come on, please force this. Pretty please. And they do. It's so weird that they waited this long, because like that bonus round really could have punished them. So we need them to not have another force here. So much mana. Seething Song. Roughly 1 million mana. And the final copy resolves, and now we'll cast a Burning Wish that copies itself 4 times. But it would need to resolve, and it looks like it does. So we'll just show them that we're going to Grapeshot them for lethal. Yes. We'll grab Past in Flames. Yes, we'll grab Empty the Warrens. And Stresk as well. Okay, we've done it. We won. We're 3-0. 2 more matches left. Can we keep the heat going? Also, Urabrask, super good this match. Really, really impressed. If you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. Ruby Storm! Match number 4. Feeling pretty good about this. Keep. I'm excited. This deck is sweet. Clear Hearts, full something, can't lose. I don't know. Bad reference. Volcanic Island. Can we get an easy matchup? Play the Needle. We'll pass. Tropical Island. Or Nimble Mongoose. Okay. 2011 Rug Delver. Let's go. Play a Ruby Medallion. Am I going to get spell snared here? Nope. Pass the turn. Don't play into Daze or anything else. Just... That's the real thing about this matchup. Is if you're going to face 2011 Rug Delver, just don't play into their tricks. Be patient. I mean, this card is not a card that I think is aged well. Like, I love Nimble Mongoose. It's just not as good as it was in the past. Tap this. Let's Manamorphose. Red. Morphose again. Red. Let's Reckless Impulse. Play a Ruby Medallion. I want to see if they'll force the bonus round. The Daze will pay. And that resolved. Okay, we'll play Lotus Petal. What about a Rite of Flame? They stifle the bonus round triggers. Sure. So they have Tropical Island, 1 unknown. I think I'm supposed to just try to put this Birgi into play. And by Birgi, I mean Horn. And by 1 unknown, I mean 2 unknowns. I think I said 1. Discard the Horn. 2 Horn. Wrenn's Resolve. We'll play that. Okay. We just want more action here. We have plenty of mana. Jessica's Will's amazing. And I believe that's the game. Okay, take that, Rug Delver from 2011. GG. So if they're on Stifle Rug, I don't think we're supposed to board in the Galvanic Replay plans. Instead, I do think we want the Blast Zones as ways to clear their threats, but also just pay for days. So we'll do that. And I think something like Jessica's Will actually isn't great here, so I'm down to board those out. Actually, maybe we do want relays. Board out the Jeskai's Will, and then board out at least one bonus round. Alright, I'm going to board out one Urabrask. I'll leave one for the surgical option, but it's just really clunky. That's my fear. Keep this. Wooded Foothills was a classic trick from back in the day. You would just like leave open foothills and your opponent would fetch. You'd be like, I'll stifle you. And that would also be the voice that you would use. Delver of Secrets. They upkeep the brainstorm, so that means that they're valuing the clock of Delver. Alright, Delver of Secrets triggers to a brainstorm. Another Wooded Foothills. Mishra's Bauble. They look at the top card of my deck. They attack for 3, so I'll go to 17. And in my upkeep, they will draw the other card they put back on Brainstorm. This was good. Let's see if this resolves. Reckless Impulse. Blast Zone Ruby Medallion. I'm down for that. Land 3. I'll go to 14. I guess if I'm being serious for a moment, I think that Nibble Mongoose is probably actually decent in a world where all of the control decks are on 4 Prismatic Ending 4 Swords and not a whole lot of sweepers. That's unfortunate. We'll pass. That is my non-troll answer. Like, I do think that Nibble Mongoose has aged poorly, but I think if you're just looking to beat those Jeskai control decks that we've run into all league, they're probably fine. Ponder. They found land number 4, which isn't what you want with this deck. They didn't shuffle, so they had land 4 in hand. Let's try another copy of Ruby Medallion. That resolves. Reckless Impulse. Whoops. I didn't need to take 2 off my Ancient Tomb there. Lotus Petal. Let's attempt the Seething Song. If they have another Spell Pierce, they get me, but I can pay for a Daze here. They brainstorm in response. Seething Song? Force Pitch Daze. Okay, pass the turn. So with the Delver attack, I'm going to fall to 6 this turn. Okay, so if they're willing to play this out, they have Stifle in hand. Play the Birgi. Ouch. Birgi triggers. What is this, a hardcast Force Negation? Looks like it. Okay. We still got our red mana from the Birgi, so now I can play Burning Rush for free. And I can Grapeshot their team. Yes. Grab the Grapeshot. Target them. And then at the end of this chain, I can Galvanic Relay. 1, 2, 3, and then at them. Galvanic Relay for 6. I have 1 card in hand. Land number 5. And it's Ponder. They did not shuffle. 3 mana. Meltdown for 3. For 2. Sure. Okay. Let's just party. Lotus Petal triggers Birgi. Tap the Blast Zone. We'll play Wrenn's Resolve. This should be a pretty easy win. We just have to build towards Past in Flames. They have no hand, so I'm okay with tapping the Ancient Tomb. Seething Song. Play Burning Wish. Yes. Go get the Past in Flames. Play another Wrenn's Resolve. We are 4-0. We are a single match away with Urabrask. Urabrask Ruby Storm. I believe in us. I hope you do too. I'll see you in the 5th match. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? We've made it simple to do so by including a button to rent the entire deck at theepicstorm.com/decklist. For the undefeated trophy, match number 5, and we're on the play. We have Ancient Tomb, Lotus Petal. The rest of this hand just doesn't do it. We have to mulligan. So this is a turn 2 Horn? Or even turn 1 Horn. Not really sure what our opponent's playing. They kept 7. Play a Lotus Petal. I don't like this pause. Is it a 5th blue deck in a row? Seething Song? Horn fell. Hey, it resolved. Good sign, good sign. It is in fact a 5th blue deck though. Play a Mountain. We'll just pass the turn. Try to build up some resources rather than just discarding our hand every turn. End step Brainstormed. Looted Delta. What are you playing? Are you on Doomsday? Not Doomsday. Okay. An Ancient Tomb. I think I'm going to pass. So I think my choke point's going to be red mana, not colorless. I want this to discard to the horn. Otawara. So they could have held this and bounced. Dak Faden. Oh, wow. Yeah, you punished me. Holy moly. I was not expecting Dak Faden today. Okay, you got me. This is so bad. Alright, we'll concede. They got me. Oh, geez. Alright, once again, I think we want the Blast Zones. We'll get rid of Lotus Petals. Bring in Relays. Board out a bonus round. Submit. On the play for game number 2. Keep. Opponent with a mulligan. To 5. Which is good for us because we're looking to play a slow game and they're mulliganing to force. Needle past the turn. Volcanic Island. Wrenn's Resolve. Well, we're just passing. Verdant Catacombs. Pass the turn. I believe that they're on like a Strifo pile deck. That's what the Dak Faden meant in game 1. Wrenn's Resolve. We'll sit on the Ruby Medallion for a turn. We don't have to play right now. They find Underground Sea. Land for turn. Ruby Medallion. Manamorphose. Red. Attempt to make 6 mana off this Jeskai's Will. And that resolves. Will Reckless Impulse. Bonus round. That resolved. Burning Wish. Copy. Burning Wish number 1. Is this a Drown in the Lock? Okay. Sure. Burning Wish number 2. Looks like this one's going to resolve. We'll grab Past in Flames. Yes, we'll grab Jeskai's Will. And they concede. Alright, we just have to get game 3 now. We can do it. We can do it. Submit. 1 game away from greatness. I believe in us. I don't believe in this hand, though. Unfortunately. Mulligan. This is fine. Keep. I think you're actually supposed to get rid of the Manamorphose. Like, yeah, it's great with the relay, but I think we just want stability. Play the Needle, pass. They play Misty Rainforest and pass. Wrenn's Resolve. I really love the 8 effects in this deck. Like, I think that was a really big level up for this archetype. Like, my biggest takeaway, and I'll talk about this at the end too, but I think that going smaller and just having 8 Reckless Impulse really helped improve this deck because you're able to grind a lot better than you used to. And they're just passing. Okay. Land pass. Okay. You have 3 duels. What's going on? Land number 4. You can have an arrow. I don't care about that. We have 1 land untapped. Is this our spot? Ruby Medallion. That resolved. Tap for 2. Let's try a Wrenn's Resolve. Galvanic Relay. It's not awful. Let's try a Reckless Impulse. See if they'll counter this. Alright, we're going to take a Relay for 4. And then we'll come back next turn with all these. First 2 cards revealed are Urabrask and another Reckless Impulse. And a Wrenn's Resolve, Burning Wish. So our choke point at the moment is mana. They have an unstuck Brainstorm. We need this Ruby Medallion to live. They're tapping Volcanic Island and Dak Faden. They're going to take my Ruby Medallion. Yeah. Wise move. Okay, we have a bunch of cards we can play this turn. I think we start on Rite of Flame. It's innocent enough. Try a Birgi. Force pitching Baleful Strix. They have 4 cards in hand. I could try a Seething Song here, but if it gets forced, we lose everything. Or I can just double Reckless Impulse and try again next turn. And that might be the move. Wrenn's Resolve. Play the Mountain. Lose the Needle. Reckless Impulse. We have to pass. We're going to lose some of those cards, but I think it's safer than just allowing the Seething Song to get countered and losing. They're using the Dak Faden to draw 2, discard 2. Endurance and Cling to Dust. Minsk and Boo. Tapping all their blue mana. I don't know what that means. Does it mean that they have a Beseiju in hand? But it's a little bit odd. Alright, so they had a Delta. That makes more sense. They're just tapping out for the Baleful Strix. Okay. 3 cards in hand. Play Mountain. I mean, I feel like they have another Force here, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do, so bonus round it is. And they did have another Force, pitching Ponder, so they have 1 card. Next turn, they can add counters to their Boo. There's no point in me playing the Horn if they're just going to steal it with Dak Faden, so Seething Song. Play Birgi. Now we'll Manamorphose into Relay. Red. I'll take another, sure. Okay, red. Galvanic Relay for 7. We have to hope to live. Cling to Dust gains life. I don't think it makes people lose life. Yeah. So they have Cling to Dust and Arrowing their graveyard as things that they can use from the graveyard. They have 2 cards in hand. They can fling the Boo to draw 4 cards, which is a lot. They start by plussing on the Dak Faden. So what they could have done is gone to attack step, swing, fling Boo. Or they could have plussed, flung Boo right there. They decided they didn't want to do any of those. Alright, so they're going to fling Boo post-combat. I think our opponent just missed lethal by discarding this Minsk and Boo. Unless their last card in hand is another. But that wouldn't make sense. Because they didn't plus it here. They're tapping mana. Oh, they're going to fling the Uro. I see. That's going to be lethal. That's a bummer. We just missed the 5-0. Womp womp. Unfortunately, it was only a 4-1. We missed greatness, but I mean, I thought this list really performed. Urabrask was fine, but I am sold on 4 Wrenn's Resolve, 4 Reckless Impulse, and why not? Let's open these up, see what we get for our trouble here tonight. A Rankle, former Pioneer All-Star, and the rest of these are pretty bad. Alright, well, thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. Play Impulse. That's my honest recommendation about Ruby Storm at the moment. Let me know if you have any different feedback. Alright, once again, thank you for watching. Have a great day and keep storming. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.